ladies and gentlemen, James here. Hope you're doing well. Well, I hope, yep. I decided to make a video. This was something very interesting because I'm going to show you a video about this man-made later on. And this is dealing with the military. Personally, I've never been in the military, but what's going on, what particularly with black Americans is not being promoted in the military along with other people being promoted is totally ridiculous. But as anything, the past has always has something connected with the present. And in this shot, these are familiar. These are familiar pictures of black African American men that are Tuskegee Airmen. They were pilots. They were the best people that did, and they went through rigorous training, and they saved when it was in the midst of a war. They was able to rescue some of the men that were being bombarded by Nazis when they were up there flying in the planes. And America was getting beat so bad that they sent the white squadrons, and they were getting their butt whooped. And it's not till the black squadrons came in and took part of it and took down the Nazis who were fighting in World War II at the time. And you probably know the story. But this is what we've been. This is what.
Hi, I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Sorry.
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options.
Potential
tax breaks. This isn't
Trying to stop this video.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you
Oh boy, it's a long commercial.
As a young black American in the 1930s, there weren't very many opportunities of any kind. And so when Pearl Harbor took place, there was a thought in my mind, the opportunity may soon be here. In 1940, there was less than 100 commercially licensed black American pilots. And as a result, there was a very, very strong resistance for black Americans to become military aviators. So there evolved an experiment. We will give them a chance. We will try them. But it was called the Tuskegee experiment. It was an experiment because there was no confidence that black Americans were going to be successful as military aviators. My determination was no matter what, I was going to let nothing stand in the way of me and succeeding as a military aviator. In the beginning, the white units did not want to fly with the black airmen. It was a segregated arrangement, so we flew only, and our organization was all black. There was no integration whatsoever. Our job was not to go out and seek and destroy enemy aircraft, but to make sure enemy aircraft did not destroy the bombers on their missions to the target, on the target, and then returning home. And what happened as a result of the discipline that was shown by the black airmen was that they stayed with the bombers to protect them. The enemy fighters were reluctant to come in and attack the bombers with the escort airplane so close and ready to destroy them if they did come in, that there began to become a record of the bombers that were being protected by the red-tailed Mustangs that were flown by the black Americans were not being destroyed by enemy aircraft. When the war was over, the black group had flown 200 combat missions escorting heavy bombers throughout most of Europe, and they had not lost a single bomber to enemy aircraft. That was a record that never was broken or even achieved by any other escort group throughout all of World War II. And it simply destroyed the myth of the incompetency of black airmen. It's interesting that we fought so hard and volunteered to get into the military. We felt that we had accomplished some good in what we did in our military service. But there were no rose-colored glass situations. Discrimination was there when we went away. It was there when we came back. We fought to have a better life. We still felt a better life was worth fighting for. So the fight was not diminished. The results that we sought and really hoped would come about was still not there, but it was still worth fighting for. When we look back now at the effort made by black Americans to make a contribution and to look at what they actually did accomplish, there's a strong feeling that there was great achievement on the part of black America.
Shout out to all the black veterans out there, because they never get no credit. And you hear what he said? That they must have had the best record. They had the
That's
best.
the sound of your life. Perfectly.
They had the best record. That described this discrimination in America. Despite back then, they went through the same thing. Back then, in the 1940s when this happened, 1950s. Yeah, World War II, 1.2 million, and it was discrimination in the military. Now, and then you see the recent movie about those black military women. That was a squadron of black military that did this, but black Americans who served in World War II faced discrimination abroad and at home. Here, you being a patriot, and this is what your country do to you. That even in the midst of a war, in the middle of a war, someone got time to just say that you're not incompetent to able to. You train in the machine. They train heavily. Went to school, went to military school and everything for the body. But you see how America, when it comes to black men and black women, they jealous, and they don't want to be showed out. And we have the same spirit in this land today. Something recently happened, and this man reported, and I'm going to show you what he found out. I finally got a stable.
If you're not subscribed, I know I'm banging this drum a lot today. Please subscribe. I am fewer than 50,000 subscribers away from a million subscribers. Bananas. Seriously, I'm so lucky. I am not worthy of this platform. You have saw fit to subscribe and be interested in the way I talk about the news and my trying to motivate people to do the right thing and to get involved in politics, and I am beyond humbled. I thank you very much. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. On February 6th, let's talk about this. On February 6th, I did a video. The title of which, if you want to go look for it, is Racist Trump Threatening Criminal Charges for Companies That Hire Black People. And in the thumbnail, because it's YouTube, you got to give a little bit of mild clickbait, even though I stand by both the thumbnail and the title in this case. Trump bringing back segregation. And here's the description of the video. Jesse talks about Trump's dispatching of his Attorney General, Pat Bondi, to threaten criminal prosecutions of private companies who have DEIA policies to enable the hiring of black, LGBTQ, etc. employees. So, Donald Trump is threatening criminal action against private companies who have hiring policies that are their business, right? A lot of people push back. Oh, that's total clickbait. That's not. They're not bringing back segregation. They're not trying to not hire black people. This is just your liberal fever dream. There was all kinds of hateful, idiot comments of people who aren't clearly watching the landscape of what's taking place in the country, or are partisan hacks who are trying to cover for Donald Trump and their racism. Enter military.com. This isn't the New Republic. This isn't the Intercept. This isn't Mother Jones. This isn't a left-leaning journalistic outlet. Excuse me. This is military.com, an outlet that covers stories and has an understanding of what goes on in the military, has access to people. And there's a quote in here. In fact, I'll just read this quote. It's fucking racist, one active duty Army general told military.com on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. To avoid retaliation, this active duty general had to remain anonymous. Here's the headline. Military drops recruiting efforts at prestigious Black Engineering Awards event. Now, let's take a step back before I read from this. The narrative by Republicans, the narrative by Donald Trump and other racists, yes, other, including him, others who are racist, is that DEI just wants to hire any black body, whoever. Just, get them in there. They're black. That's good enough. They act as though qualification has nothing to do with it. That it's just the color of your skin. And that actual qualified white people get boxed out of jobs so that an unqualified black person or gay person or trans person or woman, or name your hated group by Republicans, so they can get the job. That's what they would have you believe, right? So why, in this case, would they pull out if a prestigious Black engineering event that I think they said was like ripe with talent, it's the most dense talent venue or something like that is how they describe it, you're turning down the possibility of hiring wildly talented, wildly intelligent, wildly skilled candidates for jobs within the military only because they're black.
That's what he's saying.
It's the reverse of what they claim, because they're liars. They're racist white supremacists. They've allowed the white Christian nationalist agenda to take hold, and now they have Pete Hegseth, a white supremacist, as the Secretary of Defense, to put this into action. And as I talked about in a previous video, the makeup of the military is just about 50-50 white and then minority groups. Latino, Asian, Black. Roughly 50-50. I think it was 49.6% Black and Latino, Black and brown folks, right? Here's the article.
All right, so he plugs it in. Perfect. We'll start the car. I need a tap to begin the scan. Now,
Here's the article. The Army and other service branches are abandoning recruiting efforts at a prestigious Black engineering event this week, turning down access to a key pool of highly qualified potential applicants amid President Donald Trump's purge of diversity initiatives in the military. Until this week, Army Recruiting Command had a long-standing public partnership with the Black Engineer of the Year Awards, or BEYA, an annual conference that draws students, academics, and professionals in science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as STEM. The event, which takes place in Baltimore, oh no! That's a historically very black city. I see why they wouldn't want to go. Very scary for white Republicans. Oh. Yeah. The event, which takes place in Baltimore, has historically been a key venue for the Pentagon to recruit talent, including awarding reserve officers training corps scholarships and pitching military service to rising engineers. Past BEYA events have included the Army Chief of Staff and the Defense Secretary. Quote, "This is one of the most talent-dense events we do," one Army recruiter told military.com, "on the condition that their name not be used. Our footprint there has always been significant. We need that talent," says a subject matter expert, a military recruiter. We need that talent, whether they be black or white. These are talented, qualified, skilled individuals. The services cited concerns that participation in the predominantly black event could run afoul of Trump's order and the Pentagon's intensifying push to erase diversity efforts in the military, according to multiple sources familiar with the decision. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on January 31 ordered that Black History Month, Women's History Month, and others were officially dead, quote unquote, and that the military would no longer mark them. Quote, "In compliance with the Department of Defense and Headquarters Department of the Army guidance, U.S. Army Recruiting Command will not participate in the upcoming BEA event," Madison Bonzo, a service spokesperson, said in a statement to military.com. Quote, "Service members and civilians are permitted to attend this event in an unofficial, personal capacity if they choose to do so." The Navy, Air Force, and Space Force also pulling out of the event. And then down here, additional recruiting events tied to specific racial or gender groups are also likely to be scrapped, two defense officials told military.com. That includes other conferences and career fairs with thousands of participants, thousands of qualified, highly skilled participants. So what's the reason? They're black. Are they qualified? Yes. Are they highly skilled? Yes. Are they sought after? Yes. Would they benefit the military? Yes. But because they're black, this is where the rubber hits the road, folks. Are they skilled? Yes. But are they black? Yes. Disqualified. We're not even going to look at them. We're not going to seek them. We're not going to try to recruit them because they're black. In spite of the fact that they're qualified. In spite of the fact that they have a specialization, a skill set that is wildly needed by our government. But because they're black, they're not being hired. And we're going to finish with that quote I read earlier. "It's fucking racist," one active duty Army general told military.com, "on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. For the Army now, it's blacks need not apply, and it breaks my heart." That's not coming from me. That's not coming from me, critics who said, "Oh, Donald Trump's not in for the segregation." You're just lying. You're a libtard. Hurt-de-der. A U.S. Army general, someone who, he hadn't been there, they hadn't been there, whatever they are, woman or man, hadn't been there for 15 minutes. They've likely been there for 30 years. They are also a subject matter expert. YouTube troll. You are not. You are an armchair moron who supports a fascist. You're just lying, libtard. Fantastic. I stand by my earlier video from February 6th, and I'm adding to the pile of evidence here. This is the...
Now, let me piggyback off what he said. You know, this is not a very smart move. This is not the kind of message you want to put around the world when you have enemies abroad that they're looking to take advantage. And this Christian nationalism, white nationalism, is going to bust in their face. It's going to bust in their face in America. It's going to bust in their face internationally. Because just like they did during the early part of America, during World War II, it's the insecure white men that didn't want to fight along beside black men because they didn't feel like they were capable. Even though the black men trained hard, did the same type of education and training. You see what kind of message you're sending to the world? Imagine your enemies see this around the world, and they see this and they say, "Wow, America still got this segregation thing going on." And this was even during World War II. And I remember hearing stories about black military men were being dogged out overseas because they would treat the Nazis, who were the enemy, of who they were fighting, give them the best of everything, and just put their black soldiers. See, when people, and he pointed this out, they keep telling you to get over your past. And you see that the black men and the black women of America, the black Americans that fought many wars, still can't even get equal treatment. There's been countless of stories across America in past times that even when they went back home to parts of the United States, they suffered a great deal of discrimination. Imagine you're going to fight somewhere, and that's why, many black fathers really tell their sons, son, if you can help it, the military ain't for no black man. I never forget that in the movie Boys to Men. Now you see why. Now you see that even when you qualify, even when you study, and you put in the hard work and study the training and everything, and that can go for a woman, and whether a person could be gay or trans, whatever, you put in all that, should have stopped the ability for them doing the job. Whatever their sexual orientation, whatever color skin or whatever ethnic background, you see the subconscious racism is going to destroy America. And I'm telling you, the enemies and around the world will see this. And here's the part that they didn't understand this. This happened before. So when even in World War I and World War II, there were white men that were getting their butts whooped by the British. In World War I, they got in the one Civil War, they were getting their butt whooped. There were white men that were dying, and they had no choice but to bring in the Native American Indians, slaves, blacks, that wanted to fight alongside of them. They didn't even up in that's why the North came. And then you see the movie Glory, right? They didn't give them the right equipment to fight. They had to fight just to get them have the right attire. That's how demeaning it was in America. While you still being patriotic, they still being racist to you. And it's a history of insecurity, jealousy, and don't want to think that I'll shine. You about to go take on some strategy, military war, and you got time to be fucking, gotta be darn racist, carry this silly racist. And that's why they probably didn't want him in the Senate. They didn't want him being over the military, because you're gonna take this white nationalist, and okay, so if you have white men, then you have. See, this is what these dumb racist people don't understand. If you take things away from us, you think that you're hurting us, but it's gonna come back to hurt you in some kind of way. So you already insecure because your women, white men, some of these white men, their women not, and just like in past times, wouldn't give them sex and wouldn't give them children. And they worry about their population dropping, which we know, and it's the stats that prove that. But this all what this really stands for. Now you're trying to still bring back the old playbook and do other ethnic groups of men and women the same way. And out of that is sexual orientation. This is, and it then, like he was saying, it's like, oh, he ain't say that. Now he showed you. And I hope this video go through. Hope it don't get no copyright. Show you a little video about what they had to go through, what that first gentleman had to go through. That was in the past, but yet they want you to live in the present. All that racism, that prejudice stuff, we need to get over it. We need to get over it. It seemed like it never left. And of all places, the military. You got right now. He's making enemies all around the world. So you want to do this divide and conquer stuff out now, and thinking that you worry about what's going to be on the front line. You see how ignorant that Trump is. You know what I'm saying? Now I give it to him. As far as dealing with the aspect of getting criminals and other things, and certain issues, and I give him that. But this some dumb shit because you don't want a certain demographic to look like what's representing you. Because your insecurity, and this comes back a bunch of insecure men talking about, oh, they getting better than us. Oh, it's crazy, man. That even racism, prejudice, no matter what we do, and then if we decide to shine, they'll come over and try to figure it out. Then when it comes to black men and women inventing stuff, you want to take their ideas and put your face on it, and so that you get credit for it. And some of these people, are not you, but some of these people who think like that. These Christian white nationalists, and they just insecure. They small penis dick insecure mother, and that's all what it is. They're very insecure about another group of people getting ahead. And it's the very thing that's going to take this country. That's one of the things. If you sustain that, it weakens the country. When you have people, and if we can be real and stop faking like this stuff. Because luckily, if black people went patriotic, I'm surprised somebody didn't offer and say, "Hey, your country, why would we fight? Why are you fighting against us? Your country don't even respect you." Because as man on the battlefield. But despite all that, black men and black women stay patriotic and still can't get because some insecure white male like Pete and Donald Trump can't have someone have shine. Oh, it's a DEI hired. And you see how they did that? Now, it wasn't DEI hired back then. And they feel like the black pilots couldn't navigate the plane, but they was about to get their butt whooped. And then when it was the black pilots that was able to escort the bombers. But yet they telling you, oh, we much better, but that stuff is in the past. You see how they bring, in his video show how they bring the past up in the present. You see how they bring the past, and this is what we try to tell. And when everybody tell black people, oh, you guys are playing the race card, he just proved it right there. Oh, we playing a race card? No, they want people saying that, and they switch that because they're jealousy and they don't want to get called out, and they're envious. And there's always been jealousy and envious toward black people. Well, not trying to give other people a chance to advance. Hispanic people and other people, and let their ability. And if we take, then we keep them subjugated. Okay, if you do it like that, and you subjugate people, you're gonna put people in a predicament. You're gonna lose either way. You're so and these racist nationalists and white nationalists, they're so stupid they can't figure it out. If you neglect people because your insecurity, you can't see another man, another woman doing the job or doing something that will qualify in earning to do, it's going to hurt you in the end, whether it's in the military or anything in life. Keep playing stupid games, and what's going to happen? But we end up going into war, and let's see what's going to happen. This like you're gonna see like a fantasy like Rambo. Let's see how much Rambo you get when you get the smoke from other nations. And yeah, leave the black soldiers out of. Oh, wait a minute, you go ahead because you're super superior. This is crazy, man. I don't want to go on lecture with this, but see how racism is insecure. And yeah, on this one, that's wrong. And he's absolutely right. There was just insecurity. When you have insecure people, that's what they do. Everything we do is like, if you take the same black people and say let's get away from your insecure ass, these same racist people would probably follow where black people are, just to just to get in their business. It's like, damn, why are you coming over here? We left you because you can't do something. Obviously, our presence or something irked you to make you feel like you have to subjugate me. So let me get away from you and do my own thing. Then they try when you try to make your own garden, you plant your own farm, whatever. Here they come. But yet, you be a patriotic, tax-paying citizen as African American, serve your country, go to school, and you got to deal with some insecure white people because they don't want to have the balance, who have this mindset. But let's see in the future what's gonna happen, because let all the brain smart and them billionaires. Let's see what they're gonna do. I mean, it was the other party. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. It's gonna backfire. Trust me when I'm telling you. All right, then. I don't want to lecture you too long about this, but yeah, this is ridiculous. Hopefully, there's an exodus of us, and just leave it to you. Say you the one. You done ran all the other nationalized races out here. Now you built the society. Don't ask us for no ideas or nothing. And there are a lot of black people and other people have ideas that contribute. And I said, don't let no one trick you in telling you whatever idea, keep it up there. Let the superior ones like them think that these white nationalists thinking. See how far they'll go. Take care, be blessed. See you on the next video.